Uncertainty in the market is gripping back with fear. People are looking at the price action and looking for where we are going. Are we going back down to $10,000? And that's really pretty hard. But what we are looking at right now, what you should be thinking about right now, is how things are evolving. See, the macro is still there. We understand how the fundamentals are evolving, and it does give you a clear picture of which direction we are going into. That is not deniable. That's a fact. And on the other side, we do understand the money supply is dropping. We do understand that the interest rate has been going up for a year, and now it's time to pause. Now, when we say pause, if you look for the history, you know that when the price is getting close to that level, markets are collapsing, Fed just have to pause it, right? You keep the rates there, and if the market is still collapsing, you can't go up, you have to drop the rates. We have seen this over and over again. So do you think this time the history is going to be something else? I really don't think so. Most likely, if they do another 25 basis point hike, it's going to be fun in the markets. It's going to be fun for banks for sure. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Now, while we look at XRP, we do see it's breaking to the downside. This is XRP BTC, which is not a good look right now. But we do understand why that's happening, because the macro side here, for the altcoin market, it is dropping to the downside on this candle when we are talking about a bullish structure forming in for Bitcoin, right? It is a power level of support. It is creating an inside candle. All these things come into the picture. And we are looking at the Bitcoin dominance and putting an argument. We've got rejected from this level last 4 times. And maybe if we are going to get rejected from here, it's going to be good for the altcoins. But looking at what the altcoins are doing, I think we may actually see the Bitcoin dominance breaking to the upside, going to test the 48 range, and that is where we can see some momentum entering into the altcoins. But is it same for the competitors like XLM, like HBAR? It does matter when you're in the market, because say, I like this asset, but the question is, does the market vote yes for that asset? And the price action usually goes to that direction, right? So this is XRP BTC, and if you actually go on to XRP Ether, this is what you are looking at. It's already dropping. It broke below the moving average. It's retesting the moving average and getting rejected. So that means Ether is going to go up, Bitcoin is going to go up, XRP is not moving. And the painful part here is that this is historical low, right? This is historical low. So if we drop back here, that is the most painful time, but the biggest opportunity as well. Now, this is based on the price with Ether, based on the price with Bitcoin. Now, what all of us look forward to right now is the price in dollar terms. And that's like, okay, we've been going up. Dollar is getting depreciated on the other end. And right now we are still here. On the daily part, we do understand we have not yet made a decision whether we are breaking to the upside or not. But now you go on to other assets. This is XLM. The RSI shows it's in a corrective channel, which is bullish. It's trying to break higher, retest and bounce. We don't have the confirmation yet. The price action shows it broke the moving average to the upside. Now here, this is the RSI and the price action for XRP. We got rejected from the moving average. XLM broke the moving average. It is testing it as a support. The pattern here is a right angled broadening wedge, which usually ends up being bullish. You go to the upside. Now, it's not a massive upside we are talking about. We came from this level. So we are still close to the bottom, and it's just starting to move back up. Now, when you look at this and say that argument, we are still at the bottom and we have not started going back up, you need to understand that's just wave one structure. You need to see how market moves. You get consolidated all this time and people become impatient. People become crazy. It becomes so mad because the price is not moving, right? And then what happens? Boom, you blast through. So if you are looking at this right now, I think it's fair to put that argument saying, okay, you are literally observing this. Why? Because when you zoom in, you see the price here is making a lower low at a time when the RSI is putting in a higher one. So I'm like, okay, there is something evolving which can actually show you buyers are entering into this asset. But yes, we'll have to go on a weekly, we'll have to go on a monthly and put that idea back into the market saying the volume was huge here. But still, sellers were not able to push the price down and keep it down. That's important. They were not able to do that. Then what happens? You get little buying volume compared to the last one and the price goes up. So either the sellers backed out or the buyers kicked the sellers out. That is on a weekly. Now, what's more important here today is looking at the monthly chart. Look at these three candles. Look at these three volume bars. They match and they say we never in a corrective structure had these three together. So you go back through this, you never got three continuous bullish candle on a monthly when you were in a corrective trend, when you already reached close to the top. When you get those three and the volume, you are in an impulsive move to the upside. You go back to the history and you find the same. And what's even more important here is with the small amount of selling here, the price was dropping massively. That was a panic range where it was not sellers kicking the buyers out, it was the buyers moving out. That was during the Luna terror, right? So now we understand that once we reach this range, those who backed out. Those who were in the market, they were not ready to back out. Why is that? You see this level of volume, sellers, that was only like this level, 30%. Here it's like 100% of the sellers are hitting the walls, but buyers held that level. With the FTX collapse, okay, it did drop a little bit, but it recovered immediately. And you really did not get a sky high level of buyers, but a decent amount of buying power, which shows you sellers are backing out. So don't be that guy who goes against this market, because I just saw, in the crypto Twitter, one guy was shorting the market and on the live session, he was being liquidated, and it actually went up to, I think, $1 million. I'm like, that's not the right thing to do. When the price is putting in higher highs, higher lows, you don't go against the market, right? You stay there, slow down, learn what's happening in the market. Because whenever you have historically seen a monthly candle breaking above the short-term moving average here, it's a 7-day moving average, you are in a bullish move. So if you went against the market here at 5,500, you're liquidated 100 times by the time you are reaching 14,000. Again, you broke this level of 8,000 and you ended up here at 64,000. Now you broke that, you came back, you retested, you're bouncing. What are you going to do? You're going to short the market? No, most likely we are here, we are doing our research, we get a better understanding, and we are going to do a well-educated guess. Because this is a game of probability. We really don't know what the hell is going to happen tomorrow, but we understand the fact that when the rates were going up, market were tanking, right? Last 1 year, rate was going up. Last 1 year, money supply was dropping like stone. Because right now we are at a point where, the question is whether you look for inflation, push it down to 2%, or you just hold on the banks, or they are going to drop dead. And that will actually create panic, right? We are all human beings, and if you have money in the bank, that's not a good scenario to think about, right? So while we understand the fundamentals, the macro for this technology is superb and things are evolving like what we discussed in the last video, we also do understand yes, the short-term narrative here in the altcoin side is not matching up with the Bitcoin. And there is a reason for that, right? The Bitcoin dominance may break to the upside and move to the upside. But then we step onto a weekly, and this is what we literally see. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually literally looking good. You were getting rejected by the moving average all these times. Now you broke that, you came back to retest it and you're bouncing off. And that bounce is not just a normal bounce here. You literally got a hammer bullish hammer with this level. You dropped to 497 billion and you came all the way up to 550 and closed there. Now, look at the amount of sellers and buyers. The buyers just neutralized the sellers. 1. 2. Even with that amount of selling power, sellers were not able to keep the price here. It retested the previous level of resistance and bounced back up, or at least attracted a lot of buyers to push the price back up to this level, which is actually looking really good. Now, yes, the macro structure can be this. It's an ABC correction. Now you're starting an impulsive wave structure, which is going to the upside. So if the altcoins are going towards $1 trillion, that means Bitcoin is also traveling towards $1 trillion. Which means you are literally going to look for $2 trillion market cap soon. And that's just the beginning, right? You're not, at this point, with the level of inflation, you're not looking at the Bitcoin market, crypto market and saying, okay, we are going to go reach $5 trillion and that's it. I don't think crypto market is in a bubble when we are at that position. When the rates are, the market right now, the bond market right now is pricing in rate cuts by the end of this year. Some say it's 50, some say it's 100 basis points drop. So that's 25 basis points being cut 4 times. That does mean juicy for the market if you are here understanding all these perspectives. Now good times is at the door. You just have to open the door, but some patience is needed. While we get these news, stay up to date and look for how the market is reacting. Yes, short term. When you go on a 4-hour chart, you do see that we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're correcting back down A, B, C. We don't know where the C leg is going to be, but on the 4-hour chart, looking at this right now, I would say 23,300 can be that level of support, which is the previous level of support resistance here. Now, why is that? The 25-day moving average comes close to that range, so 23,500, 23,300 is going to be great. Now, what is more important is to look at this range. You just had a lot of selling pressure, but you're observing buyers coming back in. But this particular candle right now, you don't have that much amount of selling volume, but the price is slowly dropping. So buyers are either moving out or becoming weak, where sellers are pushing them. So the buyers on the short-term scenario here is literally getting exhausted. So if that's true and you're coming down to this level, that makes sense. Meaning on a daily, now we're coming back to the moving average to test the moving average and then bounce off, which is a positive news for the market. So guys, if you're literally digesting this information and you think this is good and you are receiving value, you understand things are happening clearly, then hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. So guys, if you're looking for more updates like this, looking for a lot of events happening in the market and different assets to understand where opportunities are, where there is a panic and all, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So that's it for today, guys. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.